Running out of space on your iPhone? This might be your solution. Dave Taylor here, and I have an iPhone, I have iPad, I have all those devices, and they fill up. It's kind of inevitable with photos, video, documents, music, whatever you put on these, there's just never quite enough room. So the problem is, how do you deal with it? Enter this. This is the OLALA iDisk. This is a 64 gig flash drive with Lightning on one end and USB 3 on the other. And that's a pretty nice combination. With 64 gig, it's plenty of space. And here's what's really nice is with the accompanying app called iDisk Me, you simply plug it in and then, assuming you didn't automatically lock your phone when you did that, it launches the iDisk Me app, and it's a bright, cheery, easy to work with app, and that button in the middle there, backup, that's the single best feature here, is you can do a full backup of basically your photos and videos, but you can do it at a single touch. And that means that, like my children, who aren't very good at doing backups of their phones, can have a copy of all of those precious photos. Now, one of the neat things is you can see here in settings, you can actually turn on password protection and face protection too. So if someone finds this and they put it into their phone, they don't just automatically have access to all your stuff. That's a good thing. But really the question to me is always, how fast is it? So not only how fast is it copying from your phone to the device, but what about getting from the device onto, say, a computer? So I've already gone through the process of backing up all my videos, and you can see here the step-by-step. It's pretty straightforward, though it takes a little while to understand that it's the edit button that actually lets you select and copy. I'm not sure why they say it's called, label it edit. Maybe that's some sort of user interface guideline, but it would be nice if it was called select or something. Anyway, you select things and then you get the progress bar and time passes, and I have backed up all of my photos and all of my videos off of this phone. And if I go into the photos folder, for example, here, there's a lot of photos here. I have just about 900 photos on here. So let's see how long it takes to copy that onto my MacBook Pro. We'll do that, since there's no unmount, by just popping out the device. So now, unfortunately, this is USB 3 and my MacBook Pro is USB-C. So, handy adapter, not included with this particular device. You have to get that separately, but I'm pretty sure everyone that has a MacBook Pro with USB-C already has one of those. Now, I'm going to put it in, and let's switch around and you can see on the screen what's going on. The device comes up immediately on my desktop. It's called No Name. Okay, we can live with that. And you can see photos, lots of photos, and we can go back, we can see videos, and not so many videos. So let's go to photos. That's a pretty big folder. Let's copy it onto the desktop and see how long it takes. And super easy to accomplish. And let's see, here's our progress bar. So we're copying 1.14 gigabytes of data, and this is going to take us about, what, 7-8 seconds or so? Okay, so now it's done. I have to drag the folder back onto the desktop so you can see it, or actually this side of the desktop, and open it up, and sure enough, it's gotten every single image. And if you're wondering what the HEIC are, that's the new high resolution image format that the iPhone X is using. So as you can see, lightning fast, really, really great. Let's try going in the other direction. So we're gonna actually rename this folder. Let's go back here, and we'll call it MacBook Photos. And I will just copy it onto the flash drive, and let's see how long this takes. So usually writing is slower than reading, so I'm expecting this to take probably a minute or two. Well, about a minute. Okay, so that's what Apple is suggesting from Mac OS X. And you know what? We're not going to watch this, so let's just switch back to me being on camera, and we'll pick this up later. There you go. So actually pretty fast. And that's even using this adapter. One can only assume that if we were just using a straight USB 3, or maybe someday they'll have a USB-C version of this, it would actually be faster. But I'm quite pleased with that performance. And of course, with all those new photos, we'll just say new with air quotes, if I put that back into my phone, then we look on iDisk, and now sure enough, there's a folder called MacBook Photos. So super easy to work with. I really like this, and it's a little bit bigger than some of the other units I've seen. Some of the other ones I've looked at, one of them will recess and you can alternate between them and stuff. I don't really like that. I don't really care. These little covers are perfectly fine, and once you put it on, it is a pretty good click, so I'm figuring that they're not going to fall off or get lost. So this works perfectly well. USB 3.0, Lightning on the other end. I'm a big fan. I like to have backups. I am perhaps slightly paranoid about losing things, losing data, losing photos. I do cloud backups. I do redundant backups. I like having this too. This is great for in the field too. Let's say you're on a big backpacking trip. You can use this to make sure you have backups of what you've taken on your phone. So pretty nice. Still have to figure out how to charge your phone on a backpacking trip, but there are solar panels for that, so not a big deal. Now, only thing left to talk about really is the price, and the price is actually pretty reasonable. Before we get there though, can I ask that you click subscribe and subscribe to my YouTube channel? I really appreciate when you do that. Thank you. Now, this is kind of interesting because in gold, it is 64 gig and it'll run you $44.99 at Amazon.com. But the OLALA iDisk 128 gig is actually in rose gold instead of gold, and that one jumps up a little bit. It's $74.99. So depending on the size you want, apparently the colors are different. Not sure why. Maybe that's just how Amazon has it structured. But 64 gig OLALA iDisk flash drive is $44.99 at Amazon.com and $74.99 for 128 gig. This is Dave Taylor. This is a keeper in my opinion, and I will tell you to check it out, and I'll catch you in my next video.